Yeah, I mean, Cristiano kind of forgot that it was called 14A, and
Okay.
unfortunately, that is kind of what's going on in the industry right now. I mean, not only did he say it's not good enough, but Intel said 18A, which is the current big hope for this company, wasn't good enough, right? The CFO of the company said, look, we wanted to get outside customers for it, but we just didn't hit the milestones that we needed to, and therefore we're going it alone. We're using it for our own designs right now. 14A, we'll kind of find out next year whether it's good enough to go ahead with it. And remember that they sparked that massive amount of controversy and swirl around the company that got the government involved by saying, hey, if we don't get outside customers for 14A, maybe we won't do it. And this created this massive kind of maelstrom of, does Intel even have a future kind of thing? So yeah, a lot at stake on this sort of technology transitions.
So should we all be concerned, since, as Tim mentioned in the lead-in, Ian, I mean, we all own a piece of Intel now, right? Because the government is involved. I don't know. Do we really? I don't know. I feel like we've been talking about the future of Intel for a long time here.
Yeah, I mean, there's an element here where not a lot has changed in terms of what's going on with the technology. What has changed is the messaging around it. You'll remember under the previous CEO, Pat Gelsinger, everything was like, yeah, great, we're going to kill them. We're going to get into this. We're going to have everybody as a customer. And now we've got a CEO and a CFO who say, we're going to be more realistic. We're going to do this if it makes sense. So the message has changed and has been more tuned towards Wall Street, which is very sort of return on invested capital focused. But that message, when you're trying to sell the technology, when you're trying to be America's champion, is not really the kind of banner headlines that certainly the US government wants.
There was the big family dinner last night at the White House, and not everybody was there, Ian. In terms of chip leaders, Lisa Su of AMD is on the list. People, I don't see Lip Bhutan on there, did not see him on the list. And I also didn't see Broadcom's CEO Hock Tan on the list either. Am I reading too much into this?
Possibly. Hock Tan was dealing with his earnings call at exactly that time, so he would have
so that makes
to be
sense.
in two places at once. Cristiano Amon, for example, he said he was invited. He told us on TV he was invited, but he couldn't make it because of a company event. Don't know whether Lip Bhutan was invited or not. I think what would be more interesting would be, well, what can the president do for Intel? You know, can he talk to people in the room and sort of persuade them maybe you should take another look at Intel? I think that is an area of focus for everybody going forward, is what's changed at Intel. What can, we as taxpayers, as a government that now owns a stake in Intel, do to try and help that company sort of get back to where it once was, or at least where it says it needs to be?
Ian, I think about the chip space, and thanks to your reporting and time with us, you remind us of, the cycles that are out there, but you also, remind us of when Intel was the one to beat, and it's not that case, and AMD moving forward. And, here we just did the story with Dina Bass about what's going on with Broadcom shares, as it's looking to maybe do an accelerator chip with OpenAI. And so you wonder about, okay, what might this mean for NVIDIA down the road? I mean, is it fair to say that the leaders might not be the leaders in the future, that Intel, maybe it's down now, but it can find its way back? I mean, is it that fluid over time?
It's a brutal industry because of the investment, as Dina alluded to. I mean, it's a brutal industry. You don't get this right. You don't come in from nowhere and get this right. But as Intel has taught us, you don't win by just sitting on what you've already done. What's good enough this year is useless at the end of the year. So you need to be on this constant, brutal, massively expensive kind of treadmill of innovating. We've seen NVIDIA blow past Intel because guess what? It innovated at a faster rate. Intel sat there and patted itself on the back, made some bad decisions. It's now playing catch up again. Can it do that? At this point, you would have to say that it's unlikely that it can ever return to the level of dominance that it once had.
Yeah.
But who knows?